Hello, everybody. Friday, I pushed my show back a week because I can. Oh boy. All right, so just in here. All right. Let's see. Today, I had an interesting week. Um, I got some ups and downs. So, what I want to do is I want to first of all start about talking about the meanings of ups and downs. Basically, when you have something that isn't going right, it's you need to look at it, and it's a lesson that it's something that you don't want. So if you can look at it in a different way, it's going to help you to get what you do want. So I mean, basically, here's my story. I had to bring my I had to bring my ex-wife to a doctor's appointment, and it's whatever. We get along for the kids, but it is really not too exciting when we're together. So I had to bring her into Boston. So we have the same arguments every time of which ways I should go and stuff. And I mean, she's smarter than the GPS, so I listen to the GPS. So we're going into Boston, and that's the bottom end of a relationship. It's like, I really don't enjoy this person and this and that. So I bring her. I'm sitting in the waiting room, and this old couple comes in. Actually, I put a post of this on my Facebook. My Facebook is Jeffrey Legier if you wanted to look at my stuff and friend me. Um, so what I did is, I'm just sitting there, and it kind of started out funny because there's this big, huge door. It's like 8 feet tall, and I was just like watching them, and I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to open this. I'm sorry, but I was going to go help them if they couldn't, but they managed it. They got it open. So I just noticed that they genuinely liked each other. As they were sitting there, they were talking, they were laughing, and they were having a good time. And it's just it just gave me a really good feeling because I went from this feeling of not being too excited about all the whole thing, and then all of a sudden I see this other couple, and so I went to the other end of the spectrum. I mean, everything is neutral. Where there's light, there's dark. So I mean, this was kind of a sign to me that I mean, relationships, if you're with the right person, they can work. So I mean, I want to start talking a little about relationships. I want to get into other stuff like beliefs and stuff too, but I think we'll start out with relationships because the feeling I just got a really good feeling from seeing these two. I mean, they genuinely enjoyed each other. I mean, they were in their 80s, maybe 90s, and it just made me feel good to know that there is. I mean, I know other people that are in their 80s, 90s, going to their 50th anniversary, and they don't even talk to each other. It's just for the show of the people. They show up at their parties and stuff, and they act like they like each other, but they don't even say a word to each other when they're alone. So, I mean, that's the question. I mean, do you stay with somebody that you genuinely don't like just because you're with somebody and you made that choice? I mean, marriage is the thing is people change and it's hard. I mean, if you're not going to change and grow together, then I don't know. I mean, should it be a life sentence or should you just leave it? I mean, it's kind of your decision, but I mean, it's something to think about. That I mean, if you're with somebody that you really don't even want to see when you get home, I mean, I've been there, and I mean, is that worth staying in? I mean, we're here to expand. We're here to have joy in our lives, and I don't know, that's just one thing that it's it seems to be that, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are in relationships that they don't work, and they just feel, because of society, that they have to stay in them, and they have to, stay a part of this. And then when you look back on your life, you say, whoa, I'm 87 years old right now, and since I've been 20, I've been in a miserable relationship. I mean, is this something you came here to learn? Is this something that it's all up to the individual? But I mean, in my opinion, if you're not in a good relationship, then I don't know. I mean, I would leave it, but I can't really tell you that. It's up to you. I mean, basically, if you have a relationship that ends and you jump right out and you start looking into another one, what you need to do first is you need to work on yourself, because your vibrations are that, at that point, that, I mean, you're going to keep attracting the same type of person to you, because that's your vibration and that's their vibration. We talked about it earlier in an earlier show, that we live in a vibrational world where everything's vibrations. It's right down to the grass growing, to trees growing, to people. Our thoughts are vibrations. So basically, if you end a relationship, you need to take a break, and you need to work on your vibrations, work on yourself, because what you're asking for, you might not be there yet, and it might be waiting for you. So, I mean, basically, that this is where believing is seeing. It doesn't work. It's it's you need to believe it before you see it. So that basically, what you need to do is you need to feel those feelings of who you want to be. You have to make yourself be that person before you're going to meet that person that you wanted to meet. So, I mean, as your vibrations rise, you'll start seeing signs, and you need to be aware of those signs. You might see numbers that mean something to you. You might see a bumper sticker. You might see something on the side of the road. You might be walking by a conversation. Be aware of everything that's going on around you to let you know you're on the right path. And plus, you need to trust your feeling. You need to trust your gut feelings of, is this right for you or not? I mean, I've had situations where, I thought something was right in the past, and then as I talk to that person again, I just get this feeling in my stomach, and I feel like it's right in my head, but my heart says no. So I just go with it, and you need to be strong enough to let go. And I mean, once you do that, you open up a whole new door too, because once you learned a lesson of something, you won't have to repeat that lesson, and better things will come to you. I mean, that happens in health, that happens in relationships and wealth, everything. If you're going through a cycle that it just keeps repeating itself, look at it as a blessing, because it's a reason for you to learn that lesson. I mean, we're all here for expansion. We're not here for, oh, my goal is to be a minister, and I need to do this. I need to talk to millions of people. That might end up coming from your expansion, but it shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be to expand and to learn. I mean, we've all been here many lives. In this life, whatever we chose, we kind of have an idea, because we know we're on the right path. I mean, you can tell by your feelings if you're on the right path. So basically, we don't know. I mean, the human mind is not made to go out and figure out all this stuff. It's our higher self, our source, that knows where we're going. The human mind comes up with the imagination, and it comes up with the ideas. And any idea that you can come up with, then that idea is, hold on a second. Any idea that we come up with is something that we can create, and something that can be done. So basically, the human mind, it creates the ideas. The greater source, the greater self, brings those ideas and those opportunities to us. So, I mean, if you're in a vibration that is lower than where you want to be and what you're expecting, then you might not even see the opportunities that are right in front of your face until you can get yourself up to that vibration. And then that way, you'll be able to see these opportunities that you never saw before. And you'll say, well, wait a second. That's always been there. Why didn't I ever see that? Because your vibration needs to get raised to the person you want to be in order for it to manifest. I mean, you can manifest like that if you can basically believe it, let it go, and next thing you know, it's going to be there. Whatever you want, whether it's a relationship, whether it's money, whether it's anything. I mean, it's all. I mean, we're meant to live here in joy. I mean, I know so many people that they think, oh well, this bad relationship. This is what I this is what I came here, and this is what I need. I'm like, no, it's not. Well, I was never meant to have money. I'm like, really? You were meant to have as much money as you need to get done what you need to get done. And the universe, I mean, that way you're sending out a message to the universe that there's limited source for you and that there's limited supplies, which isn't the case. I mean, the universe, the earth is bountiful and it has everything that you could ever need in order for you to be who you want to be who you're supposed to be. All you need to do is worry about following the steps, following the opportunities that come to you, following the excitement that is in front of you. What's the most exciting thing that is coming to you right now? I mean, it might not even have anything to do with your goal, so you think, but it might. I mean, let's say that you're home one day and the most exciting thing that you could do is go for a walk. So you go for that walk. You might meet somebody that's going to help your business. You might meet someone that is going to, I mean, that is the most exciting thing. So that was where you were supposed to be at that time. I mean, we don't know where we're going. We know the paths, the steps that are coming as they come, and we get to choose them as they come. So, I mean, if you can follow the most exciting thing that's going to happen to you at that point, and you just keep doing that, and you keep doing that, things will start to snowball, things will get better, things will start improving. You'll start seeing opportunities that you never saw before. You'll start moving along, and next thing you know, before you know it, you look back and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe the steps that brought me to this point. I mean, I've had that happen many times in my life where I just basically, you look at things that, you know, I got this paperwork to do, or I can go to the mall. So, I mean, you pick the most exciting thing to do. I'm not saying you never get your paperwork done. I'm not saying you never do your work on your business or whatever you're doing. I mean, that has to be done too. But, I mean, if you're in a block and you're procrastinating, procrastination also could mean that your goal isn't big enough for you. You haven't set a high enough goal for yourself. So you really don't want to pursue what you're going to do. I've had that happen many times on my online business. I've switched that probably 4 times right now into doing different things. And I mean, where I am now, I mean, angelsguide.org is my website. And it's gone from, doing hypnotherapy to right now doing my life coaching. And I mean, I look back 5 years ago and I was like, I never imagined I'd be doing this. So I mean, I do that, and I have my construction company, which I like. I mean, the construction company is good for me because it's physical in its problem solving, and I really like doing that. It keeps my mind going, and I'm always faced with new challenges, and so I mean, I like that. I like helping people with my other businesses. So I mean, it's all kind of come together for me now in that sense that I can pick and choose things that I want to do, and it's great. I love it. So if I'm sitting at the desk or whatever for a day or two, and I start getting a little crazy, and then I go out and do my construction and get some physical and get that stuff going. It's good. It's a good balance. So I mean, you never know where you're going or how you're going to get there. And if you think you do, you're crazy because you don't. And if you try to push something that you think is what you should be doing, it's all in your gut feelings. I mean, everything. Like I said, it comes right down to going with the excitement of where you are and what you want to do, and you don't know what's going to lead you there. So, I mean, basically, like I said, this is a vibrational universe. So it's the vibrations that we put out. I mean, to put it simply, if something is making you feel good, if something gives you that good feeling, like it gives you a purpose, then it's what you should be doing. If it's anything, or your job, I'm not saying go quit your job, but if if you don't want to get up Monday morning and go to your job, is it what you want to do for the rest of your life? I'm not saying quit it today, but if you start asking questions, I mean, questions are the best thing to get the universe's attention because it shows that you're ready for change. And we all change anyway. Change is a part of life. We all grow older. Seasons change. The world keeps changing. It keeps rotating. The moon changes. So there's no reason to fight change, but there's no reason to go and jump ahead into it without knowing really, what's coming. So what you need to do is ask questions. And then if you don't get the answer, ask them again. Just keep asking questions. And sooner or later, you're going to start getting the answers. And all of a sudden you say, oh yeah, that would work. So you start working on that. And then from there, you're going to get another answer. And you say, okay, now I can go start on this. And then as you keep going, the opportunities start to come, whether it's anything, whether it's, health. The three big things: health, wealth, and relationships. Everybody has a stuck point in one of those, no matter who you are. If you're Donald Trump, you might have bad health problems. If you're Brad Pitt, you might have money problems. It's everybody has a problem in one of those three areas. And if you can look at it, go deep into yourself, look at your beliefs on what caused that. I mean, you can go back. And as you go back, you're going to be allowed to see and be led on paths that will bring you to the points where you came up with those beliefs. And if it's a belief that doesn't serve you, the main reason you will know that it doesn't serve you is because of the gut feeling that you have. If it's with somebody that, um, if you're with somebody that you just get a feeling that you shouldn't be with, you can go all the way back and see where they started. I mean, it might have started from something that your parents said when you're 4 that became a subliminal message for you that, oh, I'm not good enough and this is what I deserve. But I mean, same thing with money. I mean, you might have heard your parents talking about money at the table. And same thing when you're 5, 6, 7, and you might have just been walking by and something that they said just stuck with you. And I mean, that's how we start forming our beliefs. Most of our beliefs are formed before we're 9 years old, because that's when we're most receptive to the beliefs of other people. When we start going to school, we start the beliefs of school. We start to believe that we should be part of society. We should work hard. We should get good grades. We should study hard to have a job so we can retire. People don't retire anymore at the same job. It used to be. I mean, I used to work where you could work 40 years at a job, get a nice pension, retire, go drive a Cadillac, and play golf on Tuesday. That doesn't work anymore. That's gone. So, I mean, you need to be aware of where you should be and what you need to do, and what beliefs that you heard are your own, what beliefs that you heard are somebody else's. I mean, even if they were somebody else's and they're not working for them, but it's their core belief. So it's what they believe and it's what they base all of their decisions on. So, I mean, it's the same thing with you. But your opportunity is you can look at these beliefs and you can decide whether or not you choose to believe them. Because, I mean, beliefs, too, I mean, if you have a false belief, it can make itself so strong in you that it gives you reasons to believe it. I mean, it could give you the reasons like, if you didn't believe it, you're going to, what's the best way to put this? A belief that is not yours and it is in you is so strong that at some point it could make you feel that you're almost better to just stay with me and not know what's going to happen if you leave, because then you'll find out, what if you find out I was right? I mean, your beliefs can actually talk to you, and they become a part of your personality. And once you look at that belief, you break it down and you say, this isn't my belief. They'll hide where there's dark, there's light. And these false beliefs, they're kind of set up from a long, long, long time ago, when we used to have the fight or flight, mentality, where you're either going to fight or you're going to flight, when, say, the big tiger comes after you or something. So, I mean, a lot of these belief systems we had are from our primal days, when that's the way we used to have to survive. We don't need to survive that way anymore. So, to keep you safe, these beliefs will make you believe that if you go out of your comfort zone, then something bad's going to happen, and you're going to end up realizing that I was telling the truth. So where there's dark, there's light, and you can't see the light when you're looking at this belief. But if you can just see that tiny little crack of light, then you know that you can move forward, and you can move out of your comfort zone, and you can start doing the things that you thought were going to be so terrifying and scary, and things that you thought would hurt you, and knowing that the beliefs weren't right. There is a different world out there. There's a world that you can be happy and have joy. I mean, that's basically what we're all here for. But 98% of the people don't realize that they have their own mechanisms, their own techniques, their own tools to make themselves happy, so that they can live a joyous life. They can have everything that they want. They can have everything that they've ever dreamed of and desired. And it's not like it's going to come overnight. It might. You never know. I mean, you might just take a quantum leap, and next thing you know, I mean, you're all of a sudden everything is coming to you if you can break the beliefs. But I mean, it's worth it to work on them. 6 months from now, if you didn't work on them, where are you going to be? 6 months from now, if you did work on them, where are you going to be? You'll be steps closer. You'll be 6 months of steps closer. If you took an hour of your day, every day, instead of watching TV, instead of playing on Facebook, instead of doing whatever you're doing to waste time, there's 24 hours in a day. I'll say we sleep 8. I don't know if everybody does. We work 8. So there's, 16 hours right there. That's 8 hours left. If you took 1 hour, you'd still have 7 hours to yourself. But if you took 1 hour every day and maybe read a self-help book, worked on something that is going to, maybe be some business for you or something. If you took 1 hour every day, that's 7 hours. That's roughly, 31 hours a month times 12. I don't know. You do the math. I don't have a calculator with me. But, I mean, you think about that. That's a lot of hours that you've put in 6 months to help yourself that you could have, that you weren't using before. How is that not going to make you better? Whether it's reading a book about self-help, whether it's reading a book about something you're interested in, and then that's how the ideas come to you. This next thing you know, you start getting ideas, and they start popping into your head, and they start coming to you, and I mean, from that point on, it begins to compound. As you're showing the universe or God, a lot of God, universe, it's the same thing. It's a higher power. As you're showing the universe that you're ready to change, that you're looking forward to moving forward, and you're feeling good about it, and you're doing that one thing a day, you start to compound, and things start to come to you quicker. They start to come to you in ideas. They come to you in signs. They come to you in things that you wouldn't have even dreamed of, because your vibration is rising. So as it rises, you're all of a sudden in a new realm where things that you didn't even see before, all of a sudden they're like, oh wow, I didn't even know that this was an option for me. Things that were right in front of you your whole life, and all of a sudden now they're opportunities. So, I mean, basically, that's what you have to do. All right. I don't think I'm going to do a meditation this week. I'm going to think one up for next week. I had a really busy week. I'm sorry. I had a lot going on. So I'm lucky I even got this in. I definitely want. I mean, this is something for me, because I want to start doing some public speaking, and this is helping me. Every week I'm getting, a little better at this, and so this is my thing. So I take time out and I do this. So I think that's it for this week. Happy Friday. I keep you hanging around the house all night. See ya. Peace out.